easy. Well, can you take a picture for me, please? Big fucking session. Let's go.
What is up, YouTube? James Board here. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I made a video, but today is going to be a special one because Sam and I are going to be hitting a session with a guy called Darren Farrell. Some of you might know of him, some of you might not. I've been following him for quite some time, so it's amazing to finally get a session in with him. A little bit of a background about him. He is an IFBB pro. He's qualified for the Olympia for 2022 in classic physique. So this will be probably the highest caliber of athlete that Sam and I will have ever trained with. So we're going to be hitting a push session with a little bit of upper back tied in. Very, very excited today. It's my first session in about a week. For those following my Instagram, you would have seen that I've kind of now transitioned out of that dieting phase. I gathered a lot of fatigue over that dieting phase, so I took a good week off, and we'll see today how I'm feeling. I might need to take a bit more time off after this, but regardless, let's go in, let's get it done.
Okay, so I think first things first with the session, you'll notice it's not like a conventional session. My programming and my training is very specific to my weaknesses. So like today we're going to be push delt focus, but there will be upper back in there as well. So I hit back 3 times a week at the moment. 1 lat focus session and 2 upper back sessions, mainly because like assessing my physique a few weeks ago, I had to reassess my programming to know, because we noticed that like there's a lack of depth in upper back. So I think that's something to sort of take into account when you kind of get to more advanced stages of the training, is your programming isn't as simple as push-pull legs or bro split. You know, you have to look at where you need to focus.
So with you putting more of a focus now on your back, is this going to take focus from other body parts and maybe slow down the development of those body parts?
So within my training, I think the only body part that I don't really hit twice a week will be my chest and I guess quads. Within quads, you're looking at the volume and the exertion of that 1 quad session. Yeah. I have done in the past 2, and I was doing it twice a week for a while, but recovery wasn't there. So
legs are getting too big.
They're definitely not getting too big, but you know, I wasn't able to push through 2 sessions a week, so I'm better to just load the 1 session fully a week on quads. And chest is a strong point for me, so I only hit that once a week in my other push session, which also then includes a small bit of delts.
Yeah. So today we're not doing any chest, it's all down.
There's one exercise, just a fly movement, literally just looking at putting a small bit of blood in there.
Easy, easy.
Can you take a picture for me, please?
Alright, let's get this session underway.
Big fucking session. Let's go.
Okay guys, so first up we've got a lying cuff cable crucifix raise. We're using the cuffs here. It's going to eliminate having to use your wrist as a joint. It's going to eliminate the grip being a limiting factor of the movement. There's just going to be a bit less to think about as well. So we're going for a few warm-ups and we're going to jump in and do 2 working sets on this. 1 heavier one and then 1 lighter back off one.
Big set. Let's go. Come on. Yes. Come on. Big set.
like, if you were to look at it, it's actually like, you'd almost describe it as somewhere in between what a lateral raise is and a front raise.
Yeah, you want to be
that's
like,
a lateral raise.
Like that. That, to be fair, that hits my side delta.
If you're doing this, like, you can just feel all the activation of that in your trap and your rear delt. It should always be forward, like, so with those machines, you want to make sure that your body weight is slightly into them, you're slightly over it, and forward, and that's your position. So the mistake a lot of people make is they'll get into a lateral raise machine, they'll set up like this, and they'll go,
and then traps the thing.
it's all trap.
Yeah. Which is what we've had problems with in the past. That's why we don't go on with dumbbells, we don't go on with a lot of the machines.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, just adapting to.
I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we brought Ben Polsky over here to do a muscle camp, and I trained with him every morning, and he just taught me how to train delts.
That's what we need. Now you can teach us. We've got a session with you.
I was like, it was the most valuable training session of my life was doing push.
Right guys, so exercise number 2, we're going to go onto a shoulder press machine. So Darren, why is it that we kind of order the exercises in this kind of routine for your session?
Basically, I start with the lateral raise because it's a good way of, focusing on your lateral delt, but also it doesn't take away from any form of a press. So it gets a lot of blood in the shoulder, like a nice warm up as well for your whole shoulder, and just for safety really. You don't want to be going into a press like this cold. And like I was just saying off camera, even with this now, I take a long time warming up before I get anywhere near my working set. Particularly with this prime press, you're in a very compromised position in your start point. That when you go to push off, if that's heavy, you want to make sure your joint and your tendon and everything is nice and warm. So that's basically the reason behind that. So we'll go lateral raise, press, and then into some more movements.
Yeah, that's the thing with these machines as well. Like, yeah, machines are a lot safer in terms of not picking up like acute injuries that you pick up with free weights, but you are a lot more prone to picking up overuse injuries. So like Darren said there, if you set up the shoulder press machine in a way where it's way too deep for you and you're coming off in a really compromised position there, and you just push through that anyway, then over time that is just going to pick up little niggles and things in your shoulders, or in Darren's case, that's
exactly what I did. I tore my rotator cuff on this machine about 9 weeks ago. So
yeah, you seem to be always dealing with injuries, man. I want to go over injury management later as well, but we'll save that for a later bit as well.
Nice. Deep breath. Volume, come on. Stay on there.
Yeah, bye.
Come on. That's good. Come on.
Push.
Pillow. We just that wobbly. I do nice drive, slow one. Get the position. Go.
Let's go. Nice.
Push. Go. Let's come on.
Easy.
Bravo.
Good.
Get it. Come on. Let's go.
Yes, all you. Nah, it's not good. Good.
Oh.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to try that now, aren't I?
Whew, yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, picks up, man. 7 to beat.
Just you can get up first.
Let's go. Lock in on the neck. Good.
Come on. push, 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 push. It's coming. Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Still outdid what I thought I'd get.
So guys, we've now done our compounds for shoulders. We've obviously started off with the cable crucifix raises. We've done 2 compounds, so we've done the prime shoulder press, and then we went on to a dumbbell shoulder press as well. And now we're going to move on to it's like a lateral raise machine. But it's quite a fun session. Obviously, Darren and Alex are pretty evenly matched in strength, and then me and Sam are pretty evenly matched in strength. So it's been a bit of fun trying to match up, a bit of competition, a bit of friendly competition going on. But we're going to head on to this one now.
When I'm doing this one, I don't grab the handles. I just keep my arms straight and just push them out.
Yeah. I'll give that a crack next.
So I find when I grab the hand, I tend to do this. To do that movement, opposed to...
Give it a go.
And again.
Let's go.
So guys, we're now moving on to our one and only chest exercise of the session. Obviously me and Sam, being the way that we are, we would usually have more chest focus, not more so than our delts, but we would have more chest focus than this in our push sessions. But obviously we're working around Darren's sessions, working around Darren's weaknesses at the moment. Chest is a very strong point for him, so we're only going to do 2 sets on, it's a chest fly, but we're going to use it more like a press. So this will be, I'm not sure of weight, I'm not running off the logbook today, so we'll see how we go.
reach forward, reach forward, reach forward, reach forward, reach forward, shorten it, shorten it, shorten it. Reach for me, reach for me, reach for me, reach for me. Yes.
I love this machine.
Yo guys, that is all of our push work done now. We're going to move on to a bit of upper back. As I said before, this is Darren's session. It's not something that we would usually do. One of Darren's weaknesses, he's trying to build some thickness in his upper back. So if you're a beginner and you're trying to target certain exercises, trying to bring up certain muscle groups, maybe evaluate if you actually need to bring those muscle groups up or if you should be focusing on bringing your whole body up as a whole. And this is where we get a lot of guys coming to us, they're like, I want to grow my chest, I want to grow my arms. There are specific days for these, but the way that we look at it is you have to earn these days, and you earn them by creating a more complete physique through bringing up everything at the same time. And then when you get to a point where, not necessarily where Darren's at, because that's not everyone's goal, that's when you can start looking at specific programming to bring up certain body parts. So yeah, we're not the same size as Darren, but we're happy with where we're at, which is why me and Sam are now going to start programming in delts and arm days, because they're areas that we want to bring up specifically. But we wouldn't have added these in before, just based on the pure fact that we hadn't earned the right to bring these movements, to bring these body parts up, because we simply weren't big enough elsewhere. So we're going to do a bit of upper back work now. I think we've got 2 exercises on upper back, and I think we'll finish up after that, but we'll see.
Top up on mid back and upper back, because basically on Tuesday I did my hamstring and pull session, which is all my main upper back and mid back work. So like my T-bar row, my prime extreme row, all those movements. So today's literally just about putting some blood in there, hitting it with a little bit extra frequency. So we're just getting like some top up work here. So like we just did 2 sets of like an upper back sort of slash rear delt row. Now we're into a V grip pull down, where we're really focusing on getting that mid back contracted hard, so pulling the scapula down and in, and so we'll just do 2 sets here, like 12 to 15, so we're not working crazy heavy, like we're at the end of the session, so our ability to like work to max capacity isn't really there, so it is just literally about putting blood in the area.
that concludes our session with Darren. So I just wanted to do a quick Q&A with Darren now, just to kind of run over a couple of questions which potentially you guys out there might have. So firstly, what kind of commitment has it taken you to get on the Olympia stage? So are you on like 110% of the time? Do you have off-plan meals? Do you go out and enjoy yourself? Do anything other than the gym? Or
I don't think people are going to like to hear this, but yeah, literally dedicating my life to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's not a struggle for me. I love this lifestyle. I'm not a massive foodie, so for me, I literally don't ever have off-plan meals. That's not to say that I'm like it's going to hold me back if I do. I just don't ever need them, don't want them. If I am ever going to have one, it's usually like because a special occasion I want to go out with my wife or something. But I'd say in the last 5 months I've had maybe 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pretty much just live my life day by day.
More than that this week. More than that this week. Me and James are usually like that a lot too, to be fair. But
yeah, through our prep as well, we're very regimented. But the thing is, when you're at Darren's sort of level, like this is his job now, competing, and he's obviously at such a high level, and it's probably
he's competing with the best of the best. And
you got to
do everything it takes, really. Another one, so you seem to stay pretty lean year round, so what's your approach to still make insane progress and grow while keeping your body fat at such a low level?
So I think you have to take into account at the moment with me, I'm sort of at my weight cap for my category, so I can't really afford to get much heavier. So like at the moment, like I'm pretty lean at sort of 255 pounds. My weight limit's 222, so I can't really afford to sort of push up, and that's why my body composition stays so good. So I'm eating at maintenance. Like I've been at this weight now for 14-15 weeks. But at the same time, because I'm so strict and so on point all year round, my maintenance calories are 4,900.
Yeah.
So that's enough food for me to get stronger weekly, to progress my training. Like as you see, I log all my lifts there, and over the last 12 weeks, I've gotten progressively stronger on everything. So I know, yeah, my body weight's staying the same, but my body composition is improving. So I'm adding muscle, and maybe body fats are staying the same or are going down slightly.
And then last question, so I've noticed that a lot recently you've dealt with a lot of recent injuries, so I know you've got your quad torn right now, so what is the best way, in your opinion, to kind of manage these injuries and get back to full volume training as quick as you can?
So for me, like I'll be honest, I think with me, my injuries came about from overtraining. And I started this off season, I was training 6 days a week, and I was justifying my 6 by saying, one was an arm day.
Yeah.
So I was coming midweek, and on reflection, no, it was too much. I need the 2 rest days a week. And it was purely down from just overtraining and build up of fatigue caused my injuries. So obviously that's one thing you need to look at. Second thing is looking at your recovery protocols. Like what are you doing in terms of, if you are training to this level and you're progressively getting stronger every week, you've got to realize if you're pushing more and more weight each week, you're tearing more and more fibers. And your body's having to work harder to recover and build. So you do need to be getting deep tissue work, with cryo, ice baths, these sort of things. So you're looking at your recovery protocols. And then your sleep, the most basic of them all is your sleep. Are you getting enough?
Yeah. 100%. Cheers there, Darren. We really appreciate the session, but we're going to wrap the vlog up here, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you hit that like button, and we got plenty more just like this coming, so make sure you subscribe as well. See you in the next video.